So here we are looking in a southwesterly direction up the Ellenborough Valley in location near Toms Creek, and we have our house here for 448 Tilbury Crossing Road. So let's look at the topography. We can see it's a valley. We know that water, because of gravity, flows to a lowest point. So what sort of hazard might you think face this property if we have this type of topographic characteristics? Plus we know that Comboyne, which is near the headwaters of the Ellenborough River, receives quite a lot of rainfall annually and can do in large amounts in short time periods. The banks of this river itself border this property. So how might that play a role in the types of hazards faced? Now, we also have another creek, Angle Creek. And if we look at the topography, there are many tributaries to this creek, and this creek can rise and fall very quickly. So think about the areas of this property at risk of flooding, look at the topography, use the contours, map out the areas that you think are at risk of flooding. So not only are the areas important for the risk of flooding, but also the times of year. Use this information here in this climate graph to do that. The blue columns represent precipitation. And this is climate. Climate is long-term trends. Now weather, we can have strong storms, maybe east coast lows that dump significant amounts of rainfall in short periods of time, which leads to what we call flash flooding. Flash flooding can be disastrous for properties because it can lead to destruction of infrastructure, the erosion of roads. It might lead to flooding or just total destruction of any sorts of infrastructure, including fences, sheds and that sort of thing. It also leads to being stuck. Now this area itself is very susceptible to flooding, and I mentioned in a previous video about the flying fox are located at this, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a faint line here across the river. So in this time period, I've mentioned previously that the owners park their car over here and use this flying fox to access the property. So flooding, how do all these factors shape the area and render different types of hazards possible, or make different types of hazards possible in this area? Think about that in your planning as well.